Good Monday morning. I have a very cute game to share this morning, and it is one of those games that goes a little creepy by the end, so something to look forward to. I love games that do that. It is called The Friend Factory, and the basic game idea is that you are working in this factory to assemble teddy bears of various forms, and you help do the final sort of quality correction on the bears just before they get sent off to their friends, and you have to do it fairly quickly. And yeah, things go a little strange as you continue. It's quite a short game. It is for a game jam, the Pursuing Pixels James Jam Game Gam, which is a game jam title with issues, but we like it anyway, just like a slightly messed up teddy bear. I'm going to jump in, show some gameplay, and then we can do a little bit of critique of it. Again, within the context of remembering that it is a game jam game, and it needs to be judged accordingly. So, actually, no judgment. I don't judge the game, I just spot some things that I think could be improved for the developer to think about and then improve if necessary. That's kind of phase 2 of my job. Phase 1 is showing the game, and we need to do that, so let's jump in and do it. Run game. Right, the game does have an excellent tutorial to start off with, so let's press space and look at the tutorial. Welcome to the Friend Factory. Today you'll be learning how to make sure the friends we create here, with a capital F, are all in tip-top shape and ready to go to meet their new best friends for life. So this is our workspace. Teddy bears come out of that machine and trundle along, and you can click on them and adjust them, and then they drop into the box, and you have to adjust them before they drop into the box. There are only a few rules we have at the Friend Factory, but they're very important, capital V and capital I. Rule 1. All the friends we ship out must be positioned perfectly. If a friend has an arm or a leg in the wrong place, be sure to left click to zoom on the assembly line and take a closer look. So they should be positioned like that. If one of them has a limb in a different position, you click on it and you zoom in, and then you can click on the limbs to put them back into their position. Once you have your poorly positioned friend in your hands, just left click until the oopsies are fixed. Once they're back in their finest form, right click to zoom out and let them go to their new forever homes. But beware, there's only one more rule, and it's the most important of all. Rule 2. Every once in a while, the Friend Factory may make a big uh-oh, and a friend might come out looking a little wrong. If a friend has the wrong limb or facial expression, we can't let it leave the factory. Be sure to use the reject button after you've picked up the friend to make sure it gets sent straight to hell. If you accidentally reject a friend, you can click the reject button again to undo the choice. So you click the reject button and they get this little thing on them, and then you let them continue to trundle to the end of the line and drop into the box, and presumably they get auto sorted at that point. Thank you so much for your help, and we're so excited to work with you here at the Friend Factory. We hope you have a fantastic time. When you're ready, click the X at the top right of the tutorial to start your new job. So these are the developers in Friend Factory friend form. Right, so starting our job. So the bears come out, this one is wrong, so you click on the limbs to put them into their right positions, and then you can click on the next one and click on their limbs to go to the right positions. Next one, and the limbs in the right positions, and we can zoom out and watch them drop into the box, and they quite happily off to go to their new life with their friends. And then you have 3 hearts at the top left, and as a incorrect friend drops into the box, you lose a heart. Can you actually? No, you can't. You can speed it up though. That's interesting, but you cannot pause it. So we ran out of hearts and we failed. We can restart. And that is pretty much all of the gameplay I want to show you, because it starts getting a little more interesting very quickly, and then the game ends quite quickly, and I don't want to give out any spoilers. But it is a very, very cute setting. You have these. There are other friends that pop up that look like the developers, but apparently they're very rare. At least I didn't see one. I'm assuming there's a little book here that tells you about the friends, and kind of who they are, what their names are, And then it says super rare, so maybe it does get a chance to appear in the thing. But these are the developers, the artist, the musician. Sorry, I turned off your noise, Kyber, but there were no sound controls. Yeah, and that's it. And the menu is just the resume, restart level tutorial. So that is all of the gameplay. If you're just here to look for the gameplay, thank you for watching, and please leave a like and please leave a subscribe so that the video and the channel gets more engagement, and please leave a comment so that you also tell YouTube about your engagement, and YouTube then gives you more videos of the kind that you like to see, which are presumably gaming related videos, because that's the theme that's all over my channel. Yeah, so that is that, and if you are leaving after watching the gameplay, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. If, however, you are here for the critique, now, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a short game jam game, so I'm not, there is no judgment here, there's no expectations, there's no, this is wrong and it must be fixed. The game is very, very cute and very fun to play, and I think as it stands, it's an awesome game, and I want everybody to come and play it. Their link is in the description. Come and enjoy. However, critique in the interests of making it a better game, because I hope to see it developed and expanded more, because this is actually a very cute and very interesting horror game that I would like to see a bigger, more game, and that is critique number one. I want to see more of it. It is very short and quite quick, and yeah, it's a little experience that could be turned into a big experience, and I really hope this dev team continue to work on it after the game jam and make it bigger and better, because this is there's a horror game, I don't know if you guys might have played, where you are working in a doll factory. I don't know if it inspired this or they just happened to have aligned accordingly, but I think this could be turned into a web browser version of that, where it's a full long game with a background and a story and all those kind of things. So the critiques. Let's talk about the UI. The UI is very, very cute. It doesn't have it has a really good tutorial, but it doesn't have sound controls and the other quality of life controls that you like to see from a game. So yeah, those need to be added. The sounds are appropriate. They're a little bit 8-bit type sounds, which I think goes with the pixel nature of the game. But it would be a bit nicer if they were a bit more, a bit more real, a bit more modern in terms of sounds. Because the music gets a little bit relentless while you're trying to concentrate, and the sound is an important factor of the game. As the game gets kind of creepier, the sounds adjust accordingly, and it makes it part of the game. So it would be nice to have the sounds as something that you particularly want to keep. But yeah, I got fairly tired of the soundtrack that you start off with, and I did wish that it would go away, and that is sad. So I like the idea of putting like a little radio or something up here, as if you are the user who wants to listen to the radio, and have that be something that you can click on to turn the music on or off, but keep the sounds in the background, or something like that. There might be a fun addition. The artwork, as you can see, is absolutely cute and adorable. It's perfect for the game. I have no notes on the artwork. The game feeling's fine. It makes perfect sense what you're doing, and you click in and they're all responsive and things like that. Just to blend the feeling and the immersion, my biggest critique, I think, is that the game is too quick and too urgent. I would have liked it if one friend came out and paused, and you either fixed it or accepted it or rejected it, and then it went on. Another one came out and stopped, and that was the gameplay, not this constant stream. And I get that you're trying to make a game in which there is action and urgency, but you're also trying to make a game that has like a horror ending. And if you're trying to make both, they lose each other. There's one that is better and the other one is worse in terms of what the player wants to play, and I think trying to present a game that is both this kind of actiony puzzle game and a game with a horror element, you're damaging the two prospects rather than combining them. The game went too fast for me to enjoy the context and the setting. I was just zoomed in, clicking on them because I had to get to the next one before, before it came across, and I failed because I was trying to zoom in and out at one point, and there was just too much happening. And I don't think it's a good way to have the game with this, this high speed process. Yes, I know it's like a real production line or whatever, but no, the sort of the walkway should be a bit shorter. Only one friend comes out at a time. Maybe sort of controls here that you can use to either move them along, or something like that. And again, obviously, I'm talking in the context of making this a full-fledged release and not just a game jam game. As it stands at the moment, it is a perfectly good game jam game. But I would like to see the full horror game of this. I think that would do quite well, because I think if you extended this enough and gave enough of an experience, people would probably pay a little bit for it. So yeah, I mean that's my primary sort of issue here, is that the game becomes an action game where you're trying to sort of click on each one and fix them before they get to the end, and got the hearts to lose and things like that. I think it would be much better as a slower puzzle game where you're trying to fix them, increase the number of ways that you can fix the toys, and then of course start bringing in the horror elements, and you can make the horror elements more contextual. Have things looking in through the windows and creepy stuff happening in the background, and all of that kind of stuff really amp up the spookiness factor, and have your little radio of music start to do weird things. And there is so much potential here for a really really fun game with fun elements, that it's almost disappointing to see it be this very brief experience. I want more of it. A slower paced, bigger, longer game. Yeah, and then obviously I'd also like to see the storyline behind it. What happened on this factory floor that the toys are become creepy. Where is the storyline in the background? And again, that's only really appropriate if you maximize the game and focus on what I think is the more interesting element, which is the horror element, which is the horror story that the game moves towards. And yeah, I definitely want to see more of that. So that's it. That's my critique. We want more of the game. We want it a bit slower. We want a slightly polished UI with some quality of life controls, and we want the storyline behind the more of the game, and the ability to play the game at a slower pace so that we can interact with it and appreciate the growing horror. But that's our requests for the future. Otherwise, I hope the game does really well in the game jam, whatever the game jam judgment is. And thank you for creating it, and thank you for watching the video. And I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.